Kevin. We're celebrating the amazing career of Matt Bissonette and, of course, the amazing tour coming up, playing all those REO songs. It is the Kevin Cronin Band,
Yes.
Matt Bissonette, along with Brian Hitt, and, of course, the one and only Dave Amato, bringing it home with the vocals, keyboards, and stylings of Kevin Cronin, like only one can. I know you've been in the band about a year,
Yeah.
and we joke about the lack of energy that Mr. Amato has, but quite the
Yeah.
contrary. He is ripping up the stage, playing those Gary Rickrath parts and more. And of course, Kevin, it doesn't matter what you name the band. It's Kevin's songs, it's Kevin's voice, and the band is absolutely stellar. Talk about joining these guys and seeing the crowd reaction and everybody singing along. I know you're used to it, playing with Elton John and Ringo and David Lee Roth and everything, but it's a special kind of thing. And I know the REO fans, especially in the Midwest, I always joke with Dave about, man, Chicago and Indianapolis and St. Louis and Kansas City and Detroit and all that from the heartland of which REO
Yeah.
came from. Talk about the beauty of playing with this band and what you guys have in store for the crowds this summer.
Well, it was pretty amazing. I was home from Elton about 6 months, and I was just writing in the studio here where we are now, and then Dave texted me. Said, like, called me, and then like five texts, call me, call me, call me, call me, and they were at rehearsal, and Bruce, something happened where he had to get back surgery, and they had a commitment for some gigs that they had in Vegas and beyond that. And then they just asked me to jump on and just do it till Bruce came back. So I at first I was going, man, I just got off the road. I got to talk to my wife. What's going on? But I could tell that they were really in a bind because it was kind of, and that was another thing. It was like I learned the songs that day and then showed up at rehearsal the next day, and we did the whole High Infidelity album because that's what they were going to. They wanted to get the gig at house gig in Vegas,
Yeah,
and it was kind of an
the
emergency,
residency. Yeah,
yeah, all hands on deck kind of thing, and get going. So um, at first I was like, okay with it, and then I went down to rehearsal and I just fell in love with these guys because they were like normal, nice Midwest guys that I grew up with in my life. Kevin is
yeah.
just super down to earth on the plane with everybody else, just hanging out. Miss a flight, he's just hanging out. He's not pulling a rock star thing. Just a great guy and an amazing singer. And what a great songwriter. We have a show on YouTube. A friend of mine, Paul Dexter, and I have a show called Song in a Day Show, where we get different artists and we write a song from the morning, and it has to be mixed by nighttime, and we video it. And we've got like 8 of them out there right now. And we asked Kevin and Dave and to do an episode, and I really learned about Kevin, about how he approaches writing a song. And and I used to be a staff writer for Island, and I used to kind of write for a living and stuff, and I still do, but I don't really have that gift of honing a song in until it's undeniable. And when you hear in High Infidelity, every one of those songs, like Bob Coburn says on the intro, Kevin was going to do an interview with him, and he says, Bob says, where do you want me to start the album to play for people? And Kevin goes, you can start this album wherever you want. I love every song on this record. And I go, man, I can't remember ever saying that about anything that I've ever written. To be able to just go, start at the last song. He just hones things in. He takes a lot of effort to do it too. And I've seen him, he's doing that right now with the song that we're recording. And he's just not going to do it until it's exactly right lyrically. And man, I got all the respect in the world for that. I mean, it's just like, make it right. Don't do it and just put it out there. Make it right. So, and I remember growing up in Detroit, before I started playing bass, I used to go, my brother was playing drums and he was probably 11 and I was 9, 10, 11. And I just didn't want to do music. I love sports, and I was kind of fighting it off because Greg got all the attention for drums. And I'm like, I don't want to do with that. So I'd go down in my basement with my tennis racket and listen to Rush and Chicago and Kansas and all these bands. But I remember one of the bands I was listening to was REO. And I remember Golden Country. I remember playing Golden Country on my tennis racket. So when I showed up at rehearsal, when I remember we started rehearsing that song, and I'm going, man, I haven't heard this song, and so and I put it together that that was the song I used to jam with when I was a kid. I didn't even realize that that was their song. They'd been around so long that that was their song. I thought they were doing a cover, and I went, "Holy smokes, this is REO!" So you just get plopped in, and you have to learn a bunch of songs so fast you're not even aware of who did what or whatever. But I mean, what an amazing band! And these guys, I mean, Brian is the greatest drummer in the world, and he's such a nice guy. And Derek, the keyboard player, Derek Hillen, he
Yeah.
came in the band after Neil left, and they're all just optimistic, fun guys, you know. So it's fun to get back on a bus and travel by bus and do that. And with these guys, I mean, Amato every night, we kind of laugh ourselves to sleep every night. I'll open up my window of my bunk and he's staring at me. It's just so many goofy, stupid, childish things. But it's like being a teenager again, playing in this band.
Well, it's the music that keeps you young and that kind of attitude,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
body may age, but your spirit is still that teenager back in Detroit, like
yeah,
riding the storm out, you just
yeah,
love that energy and you love to have a good time. And that's,
yeah.
why we are all around music. You can't take it too seriously.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, those songs, man, those songs are just amazing. And what I like about Kevin, he's always ageless and ever. He's just like, okay, you guys, I want you all to work out and be ready when we get out there. He inspired me. I just lost 14 pounds already from this Nutrisystem diet, and I'm like going, I'm going to go back there and I'm going to be a new guy. I'm going to be like, I'm going to be fit because I need to, get off the statin, as they say. So I like being around that because it's positive and it's like, let's make every night really count. Don't go out there and phone it in. And that's another blessing of being in a band like this, that guys that are doing it for real and not just screwing around for the money. Because it's unfortunate what's going on with the situation, and I'm committed to staying out of it because it's got nothing to do with me. But I just wish nothing but the best for both sides and all sides, and hope it all works out for everybody. But
Well,
we're
well,
ready to go out in the summer and
yeah,
play.
look at that. Styx and Don Felder. You got Eagles songs, you got Styx songs, you got REO songs. I
Yeah.
mean, who's not going to have a good time at the show?
Exactly. I mean, they're the same. We've been out for the last year playing the same songs and doing the same thing, and the branding is a touchy subject because it's under the name different name now, but it's exactly the same thing we've been playing for the last year, and people have been loving it for the last year. So hopefully they keep showing up and loving the music and loving Kevin and everybody putting it out there. So I'm just very honored to still be in the band with these guys.
Well,
And
that's it.
Dave.
No, nobody's gone solo. This is the band. It's the same crew. You
Yeah.
just gotta change some words on the marquee. But
Yeah.
everybody that's been along and following this band for decades knows who's been writing and singing these songs, and that's really what it comes down to. I mean, you see groups like Foreigner; they don't even have any original members, but people come out because of the songs. The
Dude,
songs.
it's the music, man. That's the thing. It's like that's why all these cover bands that are, out there in casinos, people want to hear those songs, period. Even if it's not even the same artist, which is kind of crazy. And there's so many cover bands that are, the Elton John tribute band, the Foreigner cover, people just love those songs. So, and they're great songs. I when we play with this band with Kevin, I'm looking at the crowd and some songs that we start, I just see an older man just start bawling his eyes out. By the end of the song, his head's down, just crying because it's bringing back what he was doing in 1987, 85, whatever. And young girls bawling their eyes out too over these songs. And I've seen that with Elton, and it's that hold that music has. It just puts you back in your car. It just puts you back, and that's an amazing thing.
Yeah, it is a powerful, powerful thing. Like I said, I grew up cross country around the world, but I was living in Ohio when like Riding the Storm came out, and I was living up in the Vancouver area, moving to LA when High Infidelity came out, and actually, the Tuna Fish album came out right
Yeah,
before I headed south to California, and I could just tell, you hear a song, and you can just tell that's classic right there,
yeah,
and you never know, 40 years, 50 years down the road, that people still be loving it, but that's what it is when you have timeless music. a great voice and a great song, a great lyric. They've poured their heart into the song, and everybody in the place is singing along. That's the greatest compliment.
Yeah.
You look into the crowd, and everybody's just looking up at the stage singing along with Kevin. It's just amazing.
It is pretty amazing. And the cool thing about Kevin is when I went to see the Dylan movie, you I wasn't really the hugest Dylan fan in the world, but when I came out of that movie, I kind of went, where have I been? To be able to sing a song with an acoustic guitar, a capo, and a voice, and there's your song, and everything you dress around it makes it better or worse, but that is the heart of the song. And I think that's the way Kevin looks at it. It's you can put all the frill and the magical beat on it, whatever you want to do, but if that song isn't speaking to somebody lyrically that finds something in common with a person to relate to that song, then why even bother writing it, you know? And that is a whole other concept in my brain that I've never really observed that much until I've been playing in this band. So they definitely know how to work a song, you know.
Well, it sounds like a new song in the works. The tour is gearing up. I mean, wow, what an incredible summer outdoors, to hear all those Styx and Eagle songs. It's a special, special time. Our special
Yeah,
guest has been the one and only Matt Bissonette. Go see him with Dave Amato, Brian Hitt, and all the guys. Kevin Cronin is going to be laying it out for you. And then Tommy Shaw and JY and Gowan, these guys are going to
yeah,
bring it. And
great
Felder,
band.
Amato said Felder's dragged him out playing Hotel California before. So
Yeah, you don't want to screw that one up. I remember Dave got pretty stressed about that, but Dave's a great guitar player, and
playing
he
those Joe Walsh parts.
yeah, yeah. And that's kind of yeah, you gotta step up and do that. You can't hack your way through that, you know. I mean, that's a hard solo, a very musical solo, but not easy to play. And but yeah, Dave's a great guitar player, and he's just such a crack up man. We've seen about a million movies on the road. It's kind of like a paid vacation being out there,
It
and
really is.
I don't
It's like summer camp for all these crazy musicians.
yeah, I kind of don't want to be home for the summer. I want to be out. I want to be out with these guys. I want to go out and experience summer because it's what I've been doing for the
Well, it's
last
it's a
40 years.
it's a highlight. The fans have been waiting. They have tickets. They've
Great.
been waiting weeks and into months, and
Yeah.
you guys are going to deliver. So,
All
thanks
right.
again, Matt. We really appreciate it all. And till we speak
Great,
again, brother, please
great
keep
talking to you.
rocking.
Thanks for having me. God bless you, man.